Hello world. I hope this video finds everybody doing good under the sound of my voice. I hope it finds you blessed and highly favored. And if you woke up to see today, I hope you thank God for today. And we gonna live it day by day. Hello world. Today I want to touch on the topic, becoming a product of your own environment. And I chose the topic because I want to help some people out, mainly young people, and they got some old people that can get caught up in being a product of their own environment as well. And I want to touch on this because, I live in the hood, I'm from the hood, because I'm not in the gated community, but I just want to just touch on what I see. And I see it happening with a lot of the youth. And I just want to touch on it, man. I just want to make it plain, and I hope I help somebody out with this one because, first of all, I want to just say I love the hood with my heart, body, and soul. I'm a product of the hood too, but I want to try to deter somebody from being caught up as becoming a product of their own environment. And the first thing I like to say, we can't spend too much time in the hood because, when we spend too much time in the hood, I think like it ain't too healthy for us because it's like we spend a lot of time in the hood and we don't go out and see other things, and then we stay in the hood 24/7 and that's all we know and that's all we see. We not gonna want much. You know what I'm saying? Because I do know they got some productive people that live in the hood that take care of their houses and they drive nice cars, but they gonna get in their cars and ride around. They may go to luxury restaurants and they might get around and do things. They just might live there, but they don't have that hood mentality. And I want to touch on this because I want to just wake some young people up as well as old because, if you spend too much time in the hood, you can become a product of your own environment. And the reason why I say this is because I see it happen on a daily basis because I'm going to give you some examples I got. I see some young kids. They grow up and see how the older people, guys, how they say they pants sag. I can watch that kid. He can pass by my job and he could be like walking in the upright position. Like in a few more days, he gonna have his pants sagging. He gonna become a product of his own environment because he's trying to adapt. And I got a few examples, man, I would like to make for some young people because I see some young people, man, get caught up. And I'm gonna give you the examples that I probably see them doing. I see them like hanging out with other people like in the hood. And before long, they gonna become, a product of their own environment because they gonna adapt to some of the things that they see the other people doing. And like I stressed, they got productive people in the hood, but you can't have the hood mentality. Because some people that is productive in the hood, they move around, they see other things, and they just not captivated in just the hood. They want things, and they work and have jobs and do certain things to make sure they productive. And, and I chose the topic being, becoming a product of your own environment because in the examples I probably like to make with the kids, the people 16, 17 years old. If you spend too much time in the hood it's gonna consume you all day, every day. And some examples I like to make is like if you go out and hang out with your friends in the hood, and they not really doing anything. They just doing everyday thing that the hood consists of. Going back and forth to the corner store, buying their food from the corner stores, or just going back out and hanging out and doing the things that people think like that's cool. But I want to help some people out because it's mainly my young people. And they say, damn, stop giving game for free. I got to get a game to the people that's younger because that's our duties and that's our job to do so. So I want to help some younger people out. I would probably suggest something like, first is you hanging out, just doing all the things with your friends because your friends, if they hanging out on the corners and whatever habits they got or whatever they got going on, if you go to the corner store and buy beer and you hang out with them on a daily basis, that's when other things could be turned on. If they tooting powder, they gonna give you some powder. If you're not in your right mind, you've been drinking all day, you might consider tooting the powder because you might think it's cool because it's something that he does. Or he might give you a needle, you shoot heroin in your veins. But if you out there with him every day and you think that's cool, you can easily get caught up. That's the point I'm making because you don't want to be hanging out with people that got bad habits because, eventually you're going to have those same bad habits too. And, you know, I'm just trying to wake some younger people up that's probably not getting the right guidance, because it's my duty to do so, because I don't see too many young people fall through the cracks. So it's up to me to help them out. So I would probably suggest something like, don't spend all the time in the hood. Get you a little job. If you got to walk to the nearest restaurant, you got to take a bike, or you have to take the bus to your job. It could be a restaurant in the area where you probably live. And if you start removing yourself from the neighborhood, because you don't want to be a product of your own environment, because you see them doing the same things every day. And it's up to you to try to make the changes and make it better for you. And I'm gonna give you some examples that'll probably help you along the way. This to my youth. And say, for instance, you got a job at say it'll be 4 or 5 miles out. You may ride your bike to the job, or you may take the bus. And I just want to encourage you, like when you're taking the bus or you riding your bike, I want you to start looking at the things in the other areas versus the hood, that people, how they do things, and the cars they drive, and how they conduct themselves. Because, you know, you can get a lesson on how other people conduct themselves and the things they have and the things they want just from visualizing it. And you riding your bike or you catching the bus to the restaurant that you got the job at. And you got the job at whatever restaurant you got to work your way up. You may start out washing dishes. And, you know, every day you go to work, you want to see something different. You want to apply, you want to see, let your eyes wander in different areas. And when you wandering in different areas, you thinking of some of the things that you want. Because when you see certain things, you will want them after a while. You see them enough. And you don't visualize things all the way on your bus ride or your bike ride to work, because you looking around, you observing things. And, you know, when you get to work, you may be scrubbing pots and pans. But, you know, when you get to work, you away from the hood 8 hours a day, because you at work 8 hours. Now, I'm not encouraging when you get out from work to go back and do the hood things. You got to set yourself up for the next day, because you got 8 hours to do the next day. And you can't be in the hood and expect to be productive on your job the next day. So you want to try to wander away from like the hood activities and start seeking the real things, like going to work. And, you know, because I say, like, you may start off in the dish room washing dishes, and you may do that for like 3 months. And, you know, you may work your way up, you know, to the fry cook. And when you work your way up to the fry cook, you don't made you a little more decent salary. And when you riding over your bike to work, or you taking your bus trip to work, you steady visualizing things that you want. And you started seeing people that's riding this kind of car. You start seeing how that person that keep his house up, and how people doing things. And once you start seeing this and every day and going to work, and you developing good habits. So when you're not standing on the corners with your friends, now you're going to work and you're trying to apply yourself in different areas. And now you're the fry cook, so you're making a little more money now. So you're able to save a little money now. And you steady going to work, or you may take your bike or the bus ride to work, and you steady making progress to where one day you don't stack your bread up from just being a fry cook to where you're able to buy you some kind of little car. And, you know, it might be an income tax or something that came along from you working for a whole year. Now you got your income tax, and now you can get you a little car. You're not just riding that bike no more. You're not catching the bus no more. Now you just sit back and you smooth sailing in your car. It may be a secondhand car, but you able to roll the windows down and let the wind blow in your face from time to time. Or you may have AC in that old car, and you letting it blow on you the whole way to work. And you visualizing things where you starting to see people how they do things. And you at the restaurant, you working. You the fry cook now, so you can see how the people interact in the restaurant. See the type of clothing they wear, and how they mannerism is. And you developing habits too, just from watching certain things, because you don't want to be in the hood. Because when you're in the hood, you gotta have that hood mentality. But when you're on the job, you can't take the hood mentality to the job. It's a difference in this. You got to put on, the real armor in, because you got to conduct yourself accordingly when you out here in society. Because the hood mentality, it don't work in society. But so you want to be like you, but you steady observing everything around you. Now God don't bless you to be the fry cook for 3 months, and He don't move you up another notch. You might be some kind of little assistant manager. Now you don't venture off and you making more money, you stacking more bread, you got your little cars, maybe a secondhand car, it might be paid for. And you able to get you like a decent apartment. But you instead of elevating yourself to be better in whatever you're doing. Because the hood mentality, it don't work out here in society because we can't be hood everywhere we go. The hood mentality, it's good in the hood, but when you out at the restaurant doing your job, it's helping you develop more characteristics. And, because we need the hood mentality for the hood, but hey, when we out here in society, we turning on something different. And the point I'm making is, the more you start taking yourself away from the hood, and putting yourself in other areas, the hood mentality is gonna slowly fade away. Now, the hood mentality only work in the hood, but when you want to be productive out here in society, we can't bring on the hood mentality. But you are what you eat. You are what you feed yourself. So you feed yourself to just the hood. That's all you're gonna know is just the hood. And because I'm trying to save some people here because we don't want to just have the hood mentality. We want to be able to go different places and do different things because when we sit now, and let me use myself for example. I'm from the hood, but I don't want just a hood mentality. I challenge myself from time to time. I go sit off in different restaurants and the person might sit on the side of me. I can get on whatever level he want to get on because just because I'm from the hood, I'm not illiterate, not even a little bit. Because I can turn on, the other side. Because it might be good to have that hood mentality, but you got to cross over sometime. You just can't keep yourself all hood because you in the hood 24/7. 7 days a week. You're gonna be what you eat. You're gonna be just the hood. And I'm trying to wake some people up because you want to be bigger than just the hood. You want to think past that sometime. You want to elevate. So when God keep blessing you and you keep seeing different things, you're going to acquire more things. And you're going to know that you're on your way to doing what you're doing. Because I'm trying to save some people from having a hood mentality because you are what you eat. And if you stay in the hood 24/7, that's what you're going to be. You're going to be hood and you're not going to be nothing else. Because you don't desire to have anything else. Because the person that contains himself to the hood, everybody not going to get good results. Because it's habits in the hood. It's a lot of different things in the hood. If you don't have a strong mind, you can get caught up in the hood. And that's the point I'm making because I'm just trying to prevent people from being a product of their own environment. You got to get out and see other things. And that way, when you get out and see other things, you're going to want more for yourself. And, that's why I stress to you that, man, I love the hood. I love where I'm from. But I see time after time where people just stay in the hood 24/7 and they don't never get away. And I see how the hood can take them under. And that's the point I'm making because I don't want to allow the hood to take another person under. Like they say, stop giving game for free. But if I don't give it, ain't nobody gonna get it. So I got to do what I'm called to do because don't become a product of your own environment. Because it can easily happen because I watch it from time to time. Because we got to start getting out seeing other things. And we get out and see other things, we'll want better for ourselves. But if we stay secluded to just the hood, we are what we eat. We are what we see from a daily basis. That's all we gonna want is the hood. And the hood mentality don't work in other places in society. It only works in the hood. So the first food for a thought, and I thought I'd drop this on somebody. I hope I help somebody out with this one because I don't want every person to be a product of his own environment because there's other things out there to see. If you're in the hood, you got to get out and move around and see other things because if you get around and move around and see other things, you see how other people live, how they do, and it'll help you to want more. And that's the point I'm making. And I thought I'd drop this on somebody because I thought somebody needed it. And I want to encourage somebody to do something different than what you did yesterday. I want you to call somebody and check on somebody that you haven't checked on in a while. They might hear your voice. And I would like to encourage somebody to do something, man, for somebody, man, out of the heart, because God, if he may move you in a direction to do something for somebody, man, bless somebody in some kind of way. And I always say that the world's not centered just around you. You have to deny yourself for someone else. That's the only way this thing gonna work. And I want to encourage everybody to take God everywhere you go. And everywhere you go, everybody to see God in you. And I want to encourage you just to keep your eyes on the prize, which is him. And I want to drop this on somebody before I leave. You don't have to believe in me, because Dexter believed in himself, And I want that to sink in on some people. Should nobody have to believe in you, you have to believe in yourself. Just food for a thought. And I want everybody just to be blessed. Till the next time.